Yo! What is your boy SK Broke Court 2 Live, United States of America versus Sean Puff Diddy Combs. Hey, just came out the courtroom. We have a verdict. Sort of. Alright, so listen. Let your boy set the scene for you, okay? Hold on, I'm gonna set the scene for you, alright? So now, hold on. Alright, tapped in. Alright, so now, as I was saying, we have a verdict. Sort of. Alright, so follow your boy on this, alright? So I'm gonna lay the whole scene out for you, okay? So now, we're upstairs in the overflow room, right? Just basically vibing, chilling, you know. At this point in time, everybody got their own crew of people. You know, you hang with people, compare notes, talk, you know, like real life stuff, casual shooting shit type of thing like that vibe. Okay, so alright? So now, that's the scene. So all of a sudden, we start seeing the lawyers, like all of us in the same building, all in the same area. There ain't no separation, like we all pretty much in the same area, right? So now, we all in the same area, all of a sudden, we see the lawyers start going back towards the courtroom. So we like, oh, something must be going on. All right, so bet. So now, with that being the case, hey, everybody starts filing back in the room. So then, the prosecutions are in the room, all right? They're in the room. So we're watching the TV in the overflow room. So we see the prosecution there. We see the defense there. So the prosecution lady comes over. She has a note in her hand, and she hands it to Diddy's head attorney, Mark I keep missing the fam name. All right, he hands in the note. Right, hands in the note. Looks at the note. Studies the note. Shows the note to one of the other lawyers. The prosecutor who handed the note sat back down, kind of chilling. Next thing you know, Mark shows the note to somebody else, another one of these lawyers. They staring at the note. They hold on like the note. At this point in time, Diddy's came back in the room. He got his yellow khakis on. He got his yellow vest on, his khakis on. He chilling. He's sitting down chilling. They bring the note over to Diddy. Matter of fact, let me back up. Diddy comes back in the room because he had to be summoned. Come back in the room. Got his khakis on, yellow sweater. He chilling. All right, he sees his family back there, wave, whatever. Let's say, so I'll tell you who all there. All three girls are there. So basically, let me tell you what happened. Basically, everybody was there. All three girls, all the boys, two baby mamas, mama. It was packed, right? So now, they kicking it. They in there chilling. So the lawyers have got this note. So obviously, we don't know what this note is, but obviously this note is of some type of importance because people kind of stick the note, kind of looking back and forth, right? So now, when they got the note, we know the prosecution lady's kind of sitting there chilling, like laughing almost and type of shit. Like, we're like, oh, it ain't good. Like, she's a little too carefree right now, right? Next thing you know, they show the note to Diddy. The whole vibe changed. The whole vibe was over. It changed. Like, oh shit, this ain't good. This ain't good. So now, it's Diddy sitting in his chair, all his legal team around him, kind of huddled up talking, and it's like they talking like, okay, some serious is going on right now, right? They seriously chopping it up. And all next thing you know, you see Diddy just gradually dying in his chair. Like, oh man, he's sick. Like, oh, that note couldn't be good. We couldn't figure out what it was, like, what was going on with this note, like what's going on, like. So his whole team is huddled around him going over this note, right? They're going over his note. And the prosecution's up there chilling. Like, they passing jokes to each other. Like, I can see them, one of them on their phone. Like, they chilling. So we like, oh, this ain't good. This ain't good. So I'm reading my notes. Note passed to the defense from prosecution. Defense huddles together. They tell Puff. All right? Then Puff puts his head down. So in the middle, when they told him, he dropped his head like this. Dropped his head, like the life went out his neck and dropped his head. Paused for some reason. All right. So now they huddled around him. So it's like all his lawyers huddled around him. Like, he's in the middle of us. He's in the middle, sitting down, and everybody's literally huddled around him, talking like across around him. And Puff is sick. Like, you can see, like, I've had situations to where like the life left my body and I felt sick. And in that moment, I could see that in his face, but multiply that by 50. Puff was sick, like sick. Like, seeing him, all I can say is, damn, Puff, like, what the fuck did that note say? So, they huddle around him talking, like, aggressively back and forth. Like, Apanillo, Brian Steele, the black lawyer, the tall black man, like, the tall black man leaning over on the table, like, kind of like bent down, shaking his head a little bit. But the two women lawyers are on the side, and they got each other hugged, kind of like hugging each other, like on some "it's gonna be okay" type of thing. Like, oh man, the scene was, oh man, it was like, oh, this ain't good. This ain't good. What up, JB? Like, oh man, this is bad. This all bad for Puff. Puff is sitting there, and Puff is sick. Like, I don't know how to express to y'all at that moment. I wish I had my phone to take a picture and show y'all how sick Puff was. He was so sick, I felt sick. Like, I was like, damn, Puff. Like, in that moment, I had to literally remind myself, SK, you know you don't know this dude, right? Like, that's how bad I felt for him in that moment. So he's sitting there with a blank stare on his face. The prosecution giggling to themselves, like telling each other jokes type of shit. But they really don't give a fuck right now. They really kind of like high-five it almost. Now, mind you, we don't know what this note says right now, right? So now, defense huddled, aggressively talking to each other, Puff still sick, Afanello aggressive, black guy hunched over, Puff dropped his head again, like, lose your language to the 10th degree with body expression. Like, you can see, like, lose your language and their body expression. It was horrible, man. Horrible. Hey, hold on. My dog, come here.
What's up, yo?
This is my guy.
What's
he
good?
was sitting beside me in the courtroom.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me on people's question. How sick did Puff look when he was looking at that paper?
He looked like he was defeated. He looked like he this is the first time in his life where he's used to not being in control and having the power.
Right, like today the good guys ain't gonna win type of style, right?
Yeah, bro. He was giving the jury a death stare too, like, you know, like he was like y'all thought they was trying to paint him like Al Capone there. Oh nah, he gave that
man.
Al Capone look to the jury. Even Westmoreland was looking at him like, you fuckers, you know what I mean? Excuse my French, I don't know if y'all this is TikTok or nothing,
yeah,
but you know what I mean, bro? He was looking at them like, you motherfucker, you know? Like
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm bullshit. Hey, so listen. So now, damn, all right, she got going. All right, so listen. So now, where JB multiply that by 7. When the Broncos get their head beat in by the Seahawks, multiply that by 7, and you might get Puff. That's how bad it was. So, hey, so the judge comes in. So they read the note. The note basically says that, hey, the jury has found a verdict on 4 of the 5 charges. But on the charge of RICO, there are jurors on both sides who basically will not compromise. That was a note. So basically, 4 to 5 charges, they're good on. The RICO charge, they're still debating on. Now, what that debate is, we don't know. I don't know. But that debate is on that. So now, that feels, and that puts off bad for Puff, all right? That feels like they determined that he's guilty of all 4 of those other predicates, and they're only trying to debate whether or not whether Puff is guilty of RICO or not. That's the last thing they're debating on, right? So basically, the debate now became on how they're gonna handle that, right? So now, so no verdict on everything. So verdict on everything except for count 1, all right? So they basically jurors like it's people on both sides, and they can't be persuaded either way. Like, they dug their heels in, and people feel strongly on both sides. So basically, they split 50-50, or they split on RICO. But the other 4 charges, they got verdicts already in, all right? So that feels bad for Puff. I understand why he said now, hypothetically, you don't know exactly what that is, but based on body language and based on kind of like logic, it feels like they brought back guilty, potentially guilty on all 4 of those, and and they just can't decide whether or not they're gonna select with Rico too. So Puff is sick. So, you know, the rest of the family kind of like sitting there, kind of like, all right, kind of like, you know, straight face whatever. But Puck is visibly disturbed. Lawyers are visibly disturbed. So basically, the question becomes, they asked about something called, hold on, damn, my words are to blur on the paper. Says can't be persuaded. So it's called a modified. So they basically asked, could they do a modified Allen charge? Now I don't know what that is. SK, it's above SK's pay grade. SK doesn't know what a modified Allen charge is. All right, that's above my pay grade. But I have to type in one of my lawyer homies to kind of let me know what's good on that. But they basically asked if they could do a modified Allen charge. Basically, the sentence was, nah, let's not go to that. So the choices was, okay, so we got three choices. Just so we got three choices. They can either jury keep going, do something on the Allen charge, or the jury can give a partial. And they was basically like, nah, let's just basically let them keep going. So basically let the jury keep going for the next, tonight, they just turned their card in, so they done for the day. So they're going to come back tomorrow and do tomorrow. And then tomorrow they're going to debate. And the whole thing tomorrow is basically figuring out whether they can get a verdict on their first charge, the RICO charge. So they already had 4 in the bag. 4 charges already done. Now they trying to see Allen charges when they ask the jury to keep deliberating. It usually gives the juror, give on the juror's hump. Oh, okay, well, that's basically what they told them to do there. They basically told them like, hey, y'all keep going at it, see what y'all can work out. Remind them of their civic duty, I guess that's what they said. Basically was like, hey, y'all do what y'all do. So they're gonna come back tomorrow, start tomorrow, 9 o'clock, and start again. So they'll start again tomorrow. They'll go out there and kind of get to do the thing. So they only have one more charge to satisfy. Now, it was discussed in the event that if they could not finish tomorrow, what would be the protocol? Because Thursday and Friday are federal holidays. The 4th of July is Friday. The 3rd is a federal holiday as well. So the judge said that, okay, we'll make provisions and allow them to, back up. So the judge was like, they got 2 options. Either they can just come back on Monday. If they don't finish on tomorrow, either they can come back on Monday, or we can make provisions for them and then we will allow them to continue and work on Thursday. So the defense was like, the prosecution was like, all right, cool. Like, the prosecution was like, all right, bet. The defense was like, we don't know about telling them the options like that because we don't want anybody to feel pressured in the jury. In other words, if you're a juror and you have an opinion, you might feel pressured to change your opinion to go with everybody else to meet a deadline. He was like, man, just let them cook. And then if it comes down to it tomorrow, we'll tell them the options tomorrow when it comes down to it. But he said, in the meantime, just let them cook. So the judge was like, all right, bet, we'll let them cook. So basically it's like, so they brought the jury in. They said, hey, look, y'all doing a good job so far. Y'all can keep deliberating. Y'all can say y'all done for the day. If you're done for the day, 10 minutes note in. We'll see y'all tomorrow. They sent them back out. Note came in 2 minutes later. They're like, hey, we done for the day. They said they'll see them tomorrow. So the jury will be here tomorrow. They will deliberate on that one charge. Once they get one, if they come to a head on that one charge, we'll get a verdict. So that's where we at. Now, like I said, it was heavy in there for Puff and Puff team. Like, it was heavy. Like, yeah, like. Yeah, Mark Afnafalo kept being like, nah, don't rush them, like, they're a great jury, they're doing this and third, like, let them cook. Basically, that's all he kept saying, like, let them cook, man, let them do what they got to do. Don't put no pressure on, let them cook. And so everybody's like, all right, cool. So, do you know the sentence range? Yeah, so the sentence range is I think, I say I know, but yeah, I'll tell you a thing. I'm pretty sure sex trafficking is 15 years. Interstate prostitution man charge carries a maximum of 10 years. All right, so The sex trafficking is 15 years minimum, I believe. All right. So now that can run concurrent though. That can run concurrent, I believe. So if he got fit twice in that, it can run concurrent, be 15 years total. But the RICO is the Super Bowl. The RICO is the A. If he get hit with RICO, he getting all day. And by all day, I mean light. Like it's a wrap. Like cut the lights off all day, he gone. Like it's a wrap. So these 50-50, I mean, but hold on. They didn't say what numbers it was, but they just said it's split. It's people on both sides, and they refuse to basically adjust or basically compromise. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get some type of thing. We'll get some type of resolution to it. But there's a clear resolution all four. Now, there's nothing to say that technically they're not all innocent and they're just debating on RICO. I'll tell you why, because they could be like no sex trafficking, no man law, but they could say Puff ran an enterprise and he committed arson and he committed bribery and he committed kidnapping. All right, those are RICO predicates that don't involve sex trafficking. So it could be they say like, nah, he ain't sex trafficking nobody, nah, he ain't do man law, but you know what? I really felt he committed arson, or I really felt he kidnapped that girl, or I really felt he bribed those people. Those are RICO predicates that don't involve sex trafficking. So it could theoretically be debating on that. But for all intents and purposes, it feels like it's, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. Basically, listen, there's no way of knowing what's what. But based on reaction, the prosecution ain't have a care in the world. They was giggling with each other like a bunch of girls on spring break, fam. Like they just had a care in the world. The defense was in DEFCON 4, like sick mode. Like the two female lawyers literally hugged each other, like on some comforting, it's gonna be okay type of thing. Like it was that level full. Like Mark Efno was kind of like jittery. The black lawyer was leaning on the side, leaning on the table, kind of headed down, kind of shaking his head. Like it was, they were shook. And for this whole trial, as much as I've been here, defense lawyers always had a poker face. They ain't never sweat, something go wrong, they ain't flinch, they kept still. Now Puff, on the other hand, whole time, Puff was kicking and screaming and kind of like pushing back and forth and showing out. But his lawyers, they always kept a poker face. That poker face broke. Like they was infected. Like they was sick. I mean, I guess at this point, there's no need to catch a poker face anymore. Cause like it don't do no good. Like who are you keeping a poker face for? Other than Puff himself, his family? But like your face has no bearing on this trial anymore. Like what's done is done. So now it's like I guess you get your true emotions out, but shit, man, it got heavy in there, like doomsday heavy, like shit, man. So man, it's raining up this piece, man. Like it's literally coming down hard, like book wet, whatnot. You can't rehaul my stuff, man. So it's going down, but man, listen, that's what it is. I wasn't gonna come back tomorrow. This is supposed to be my last day. There ain't no way. Ain't no way I can't come tomorrow. Ain't no way I can come tomorrow, right? Tune in tomorrow. I might go live tonight and get some more people kind of chime in and see what's good. But definitely tune in with your boy. I put you on. That's how they look. That's how they was acting. Like a bunch of girls on spring break. They didn't have a care in the world. Like they was like Bam was like, their team was up in the Super Bowl by 21 points. And they just high five talking about what ball they gonna hit afterwards, man. That's how like loose the damn prosecution was. Hey, that's what it is. Boy, SK broke off. Take it off.